So today is the first guest episode of our book recommendation series. In this episode, we have the co-founders of Books on Toast, which is a platform dedicated to the world of books. Books on Toast, where you can find all the reviews and the recommendations and the podcast related to the world of books. So आज Anuya and Sharon are going to recommend two books to you, and इनके recommendations back to back है. So make sure that you watch the video till the end. So over to Anuya and Sharon.
Hi everyone, my name is Anuya. I have a channel on YouTube called Books on Toast, which if you haven't heard of, you should go check out. And if you like what you see, then definitely subscribe. What we do on Books on Toast is we talk about books, which is what I'm here to do today. I'm going to recommend a book to you today, a book that I really love. And I know that we're all going through some tough times. And I don't know about you, but whenever I am dealing with something hard, what I love to do is I love to curl up with a good book because I feel like it provides the escape that I'm looking for, the distraction, the solace. So the book that I'm going to recommend to you today is exactly like one of those. I know that it looks like we are not going to be able to physically travel for a really long time. So what I'm going to recommend today is something that'll help you metaphorically travel. That's the hope. It'll take you to a new land, to new time. So not just space travel, also time travel, huh? So many wonderful things. Okay, so let's talk about the book. The name of the book is Homegoing. The author is Yaa Gyasi. Now, Yaa Gyasi is a Ghanaian American author. It's a sweeping epic set in Ghana and in the States. Now, it starts with the story of two half sisters, one of whom gets married to a British colonizer. Now, it was a common practice apparently to have, you'll have your Brit wife, but you'll also have like an African wife, a black wife, in the country that you are engaging with for slave trade. So one of the sisters becomes his wife, and in the same place in the Cape Cod Castle, which is a real location, in the dungeons are all the people that have been captured to be sold as slaves. Now, the rest of the novel sort of follows multiple generations of these two women. They make their way through Ghana, and the other one as they make their way through American slave trade and the history of slaves in America. So it goes from 18th century to the present day, and each chapter is dedicated to a whole new member of the family, a whole new generation, and it moves through history accordingly. So you see the various historical events that happened and how they shaped this family. It's wonderful. It's extremely well written. There is gorgeous turn of phrase. She really brings Ghana and the time to life through her words. It's really engaging. There was no point in the book that I thought this is too much or I can't read or whatever. It lays it all out in very vivid detail. The hypocrisy of humanity, right? The extent to which we are willing to go to protect our own self-interests, the brutalities we are capable of, all of that laid out in magnificently matter-of-fact format through the eyes of a protagonist that changes with every chapter. So each chapter is basically a short story, which is such a wonderful achievement for Yaa Gyasi to have. I love this book, and I think everybody should read it, especially now in the lockdown.
Hi everybody, my name is Sharon. The book I'm going to recommend to you guys today is this book called Gin Patrol on the Purple Line. It's a work of debut fiction by Deepa Annapara. The book came out sometime in February 2020. Just at the beginning of this COVID-19 pandemic. दुनिया में इतने केसेस नहीं थे तभी, और ना ही हम लॉकडाउन में थे. मीडिया साइकिल्स में सब तरह की न्यूज़ छप रही थी, एंड दीपा's book got caught in the eye of a media storm. There were two types of critics: those who loved the book and began sharing great praise for it, and then there were those who hated it so much that they called it poverty porn. मतलब all conditions for ये मीट ज़रूर ही मसालेदार रहेगा वो met, and मैंने ये बुक खरीद ली. मतलब obviously guys, like you say don't read it, I'll be like oh my god, I'm reading it. So guys, I cannot tell you how much I love this book, and since then I have read it twice. It's the story of a little kid called Jay, a 9-year-old boy who grows up in a very congested basti in an unnamed city in India. It feels a lot like either Delhi or Bombay. Jay lives with his parents and sister in a one-room koli. It's situated next to what he calls these hi-fi luxury apartments with names like Palm Springs, okay? His mother and other women from the basti work in these houses as bais. The most expensive thing in Jay's house is the TV, and he loves watching Crime Patrol shows. Okay. One day his classmate goes missing, and he gets to practice his detectiving skills that he calls them in the book to find this lost kid. Two friends join him in this mission, a girl called Pari and a boy called Faiz. Pari is this inquisitive type and plays Hermione Granger to Jay's Harry Potter, and Faiz sort of fattu hai, bechara, he's scared of jinns and appearing out of anywhere and everywhere. So, as Jay, Pari, and Faiz attempt at solving this mystery, more kids from the basti start going missing. Communal tensions and superstitions take over the mood of the novel. Jay and Pari remain steadfast in their mission and somehow manage to get tickets to ride up and down the purple metro line looking for their missing friends. It's magical, it's colorful, and sad at the same time. You may describe it as many things, a YA crime mystery, literary fiction on poverty in India and late stage capitalism. But you cannot fault this book for being exploitative of the poverty narrative in India. Rather, it does the opposite. It offers us perspective and puts us inside the mind of a 9-year-old kid negotiating his day to day life, trying to be a good boy, and filled with a sense of adventure and wonder. And थोड़ी बहुत ही इधर उधर गड़बड़ कर देता है, but ठीक है, which 9-year-old kid is like a fully good kid? Huh? The book is a labor of love and an attempt to humanize the story of the often faceless and nameless Indian slum dweller. And this is a subject matter that is close to the writer's heart. So, Deepa began her career as a journalist and wrote human interest stories on children growing up in poverty. In her book, she explains that she was quite disturbed by the painful media accounts of child disappearances in the country. Some reports say that 180 kids go missing every day. She wrote this book to try and paint a picture of who these kids are, how they grow up, how they're not very different from other kids their age. They have a fertile imagination and view their worlds with the same sense of magic and wonder that quickly turns into grim nightmares as they grow up and realize the disparity in their living conditions from their more privileged counterparts. Movies like Lion, shows like Patalok, and books like Jinn Patrol on the Purple Line show us things we don't think about and a reminder to check our privilege. It's a very, very nice book and it's a very relevant book. So I think this is a good time to read this book. Time है हमारे पास, ज़्यादा लंबी भी नहीं है. It's maybe some 300 pages and it's also very beautifully and simply written. So I would highly recommend that you guys pick it up, and if you enjoy reading it, please let me know what you thought of the book.
If you like recommendations about movies, books, TV shows, poetry, and music, then please subscribe to Chalchitra Talks.